Hey, I thought I'd do a quick guide for the secret boss in River City Girls. Now, the first thing you'll need to do is to get the both charms, the Mami and Hisebe charm. The first one you'll get from just beating the game. The second one requires finding all the hidden Sabu statues. Now, the problem with the statues is that there's no like UI or indication of how many you have or where they are or how many you have in a specific area. So I'm going to give you a spoiler. The reward for doing this is not that great unless you're going for all the achievements. However, there's also a co-op only achievement, so I imagine most people playing this game won't even be able to get the platinum. But if you want to do it anyway, I'll go ahead and explain how to do it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to heal up. Now, the best place to heal up in this game is you go to the Ocean Heights Beach Homes fast travel points. You go to the left here, and then you go to the sauna for one. This is the cheapest place to heal up in the game. Everything else costs exponentially more.
Enjoy, or whatever.
So at this point, you'll probably want to max out your character as much as you can and bring a bunch of food items. The boss actually isn't that difficult if you've already got to the point where you can get all the statues anyway, but if you want to boost, I definitely recommend going around. You'll definitely get some money from clearing all the quests and beating the game. That should be enough to buy pretty much every food item for any respective character that you're using. I recommend using her, Kyoko, because she has this move here. Oops, I just used one by accident. You want to use Dragon Feet because, the bosses in this game, like I said, don't really let you use most of your moves. But they very rarely tech out of this as long as you're able to hit them with a basic S string. So she tends to be the boss killer for me. I use the other character for pretty much the other stuff, Monako. So let me go buy another item really quick.
More customers? Okay. Next time, bring more money.
And then you want to go to the final dungeon. I am definitely really disappointed at the reward I got for doing this, but I won't spoil that until the end. It's definitely not worth my time, but for completionist sake, I'll go ahead and help people out. There's actually someone who made a guide of all the Sabu statues, so I'll go ahead and I'll link that person's guide in the description. The reward for doing this is so lackluster that it's not really worth trying to find them all yourself unless you get lucky. So as soon as you get outside the final boss, point of no return, what you want to do is equip both charms. And then go in. So I'm gonna skip the cutscenes, you guys can watch those for yourself.
Well, well, look who it is, Mommy. Time to kill? You bet.
Okay, so as soon as you've triggered the fight, you can actually change out your gear for whatever you want. So I recommend the makeup kit. That's just an extra 5% damage. And then you can do 5% damage from any kick attacks. So you're basically going to be doing 10 extra % damage per combo. This attack you can just run left to right to avoid it. I recommend healing here because this phase goes on for a while. As far as I know, you can't attack her during this, so you just kind of have to wait it out. If you can knock them both down at once, you can pile on the damage, but that won't happen every time. So now it's going to go into the fourth and arguably most difficult phase. So at this point you need to hit the ghost, because whichever character gets revived, it's different depending on how the fight goes, will actually turn invincible. You can still induce inflict hit stun on them, but you can't actually damage them. So the only thing you really need to do is just keep hitting the ghost with jump attacks. The ghost has a pretty hefty amount of iframes, so you won't be able to really kind of loot it too easily. And there you have it. There's the secret boss. I've heard some people on GameFAQs mentioning that there's some kind of glitch with them, but I haven't encountered that. I fought this boss twice and there hasn't been any kind of issue at all. So once again, I recommend using Kyoko just because she's the better boss killer in this game, at least until they maybe improve the mechanics a little bit. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you the amazing reward you get for doing that. You do get a pretty significant amount of money and experience, so that's kind of useful, but the item you get for it is the most soul-crushing, disappointing thing I've ever done in a video game recently. So this makes it so that you can revive your dead partner in co-op, but as you know, the game doesn't have online co-op, so for most people this is going to be functionally useless, and you already have to clear like literally every facet of content in the game to get this. I don't know why they made this like the post-game boss unlock. I definitely think they should have had something more interesting. But in any case, that's the other secret boss in the game. The ending does not really change, which is kind of disappointing too. The best thing you get from this is the ability to get a bunch of money and use that to go into New Game Plus. Use the pepper spray to increase the rewards from the Godai missions, and then try to max out the secret shop. So I'll go ahead and I'll show that for people who didn't watch my other guide video. Oops, I went to the wrong place. So there's two things in here that are worth $5,000, and those seem to be the whole reason to go through New Game Plus. You probably won't be able to farm that much money playing normally. Even with the coin purse, you don't really get enough money to farm up $10,000 without going nuts. It's probably faster to do New Game Plus normal with your maxed characters and then just pile up all the rewards, because at that point you won't have much to buy anyway. Depending on if you use more than one character, you may need to divert some of those resources into the accessories, but the accessories aren't particularly interesting in this game anyway, so you can probably get by with just some of the useful ones and then try to, you know, kind of fuel all your resources into getting these. But yeah, that's the post-game boss, and then crappy reward you get for it, and then the total end game goal, which is to get these two items. Hope this helps. Peace.